Okay, well, so I'm Aaron Schaefer. I'm a grain merchandiser here. Let's see. I actually do 3 jobs here, but grain merchandiser is my main title. So I do, but I also am in charge of directing all the freight for all 7 or 8 of our locations. So I am. And then I also am the controller when we load the shuttle trains over at the shuttle facility in Holyoke.
Okay.
So I do that. I started here 10 years ago. So I did, and I had very little experience to do this job other than growing up on the farm and, doing some of my own little marketing stuff before I moved on and did other things. But when I took this job on, though, I did several years of school through working here. So I did to educate me more on doing this job and stuff that I do today.
That's awesome.
Yeah, yeah, I really lucked out. It was in the right place at the right time for me personally. So
Well, and that's what we've been hearing is that CHS offers a lot of professional development opportunities.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
great.
Yep, they do. So and a whole bunch of different fields. So that's one awesome thing. And one thing that turned me on to even working here to begin with is I guess the benefits of working here is more than any other place I've ever worked. So
Wow. Okay. So, aside from fringe benefits of just working for a great company, what are some of the actual benefits that they do offer?
just the great health insurance is a huge part. The little amount that comes out of my check every month is next to nothing compared to everywhere else I've ever worked.
Right.
Great health care, great retirement. So there is working here, and a lot of places also do the 401k as this does here too. But there's a whole lot of little things. Like for my job, I get my cell phone paid for and stuff like that. So just lots of little things that the benefits were good to me anyway.
Awesome. Okay. So, had
But,
you had college experience before?
Not for this,
Okay. Did you
Nope.
have a degree?
Nope,
before?
I did not.
Okay.
No, so I have 1 semester left of college to finish, which I still haven't done yet. All this time later, but it was for construction technology is what I originally planned to do, and I did do construction for quite a while, but got tired of that or burned out on it and came to this. So
Sounds familiar.
yep. Well, I don't know. It just happens. I don't know. Even when you get older, you still don't know half the time if you're doing the right thing or not. So it's crazy.
We were just talking to Todd about just staying fluid and keeping an open mind in
Yep.
life because you never know
You don't know.
where you'll end up.
No, and that's how I ended up here because of keeping my eyes open and just, because I didn't really have any intention on changing careers or anything. And this kind of just popped up and of course everybody knows Rick Unrein and I visited with him for a second about it. He's like, of course you got to come interview and see what we can do here. And so, and I'm glad I did because this has turned out to be probably the best thing I've done so far anyway.
Yeah.
So,
That's awesome. So what are the company's values? What characteristics do you look for in an employee in order to represent those values?
I'd say you want somebody that's pretty honest is probably what I would consider the biggest value. Especially here where you're dealing with farmers and you're merchandising their grain for them, trying to find a buyer for their grain so they can sell it. And to me, you have to be honest, because if you're not, you're going to totally wreck a relationship that you are trying to start to build right off the bat. So you have to be honest. To me, that's the biggest thing. And even as an employee, that I hire or something, I want them to be honest with me. And I don't care if it's going to be something bad, but you need to know, because if you don't have that honesty, you'll never have trust, and you can't get anywhere.
Right.
To me, on that.
That's a life. I think that's a life
Skill.
value.
Yeah, it don't matter what you're doing, but
Yeah.
there is not near enough honesty that goes on around the world, though, for anything and everything, and it don't work very good when you don't have that.
What's your favorite part about working for this company?
My favorite part is living out here and growing up in an agricultural community. I love being able to help sustain that or be a part of it to keep it going, because it's, I don't know if, though I'd call it dying, but there's not as many young people doing agricultural jobs that there used to be. And, so I just love being able to help farmers market their grain and do their business they need to take care of, and hopefully help them succeed when times are pretty tough, so.
So speaking of bringing young people or keeping young people in the area or in the industry or interested in working here, what are some things that you in this position and or CHS as an organization do to help retain young adults?
That's a tough question. Let's see. Well, I mean, some of it is like the helping out with the schooling or doing something like that.
Incentive.
Yeah, an incentive doing that. I don't really know how to answer that one very good.
Well, we've heard several people kind of address that same thing, and they talk about kind of the generation gap. Sometimes it's difficult in communication. If you have someone that's older trying to communicate with someone that's younger and they don't really see eye to eye on things. Do you guys address the generation gap, communication styles, or technology to kind of help cut in the older people up, so that or communication between the two, or like incentives for professional development or post-secondary training or anything like that, like anything that just might be a benefit or a draw to our clients who might be looking at going to the Front Range, because that's where all the opportunities are. Like, is there anything that you guys can say, this is what we're really good at as a company?
I know, like, we're kind of bridging the gap between the two. One of the cool things that I have done before, of course, all this COVID stuff, but when I was first starting here and getting going and being younger, I flew up to Minneapolis, where the headquarters is, several times, and would do some classes and things with people that were older than me that had all this experience and done all these things. And then there was young people like me that had very little experience. And that was probably one of the neatest things that I've done for learning how to do this job and being here, is the opportunity to do things like that. And go meet and visit with people that are doing the same exact thing I'm doing, but with a lot more experience. And every time I've flown up there and gone to these meetings and stuff, I mean, everybody seems to be pretty open to anything you want to ask them and help each other out. So that's what I've really liked. It seems like a great big family. I know everybody says that, but it really does.
Right.
I mean, I don't know what else you'd call it when you go up there and get welcomed in like that. So.
Well, this is a global organization.
Yes, it is.
So to be able to say that means a lot.
Yeah. And it's neat to, whether you're older or younger, to network with the people that you meet at these different meetings and stuff that, like I said, are doing the same thing in Iowa or Illinois or something that's, merchandising, and you can get on an email with them or Skype with them real quick, after you've met them and stuff, and be able to just ask them what the weather's doing or what their crops are like over there, because people in this area want to know what that's like over there. And I love that I'm able to just quick ask somebody that I've met and be able to tell my customers that when they ask that question, that this is exactly what's happening over there
Right.
or somewhere. So
it's like a family, but you have global connections with your coworkers from all over the world.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Walk us through your day-to-day.
Okay, so when I get here in the morning, the first thing I do is I pull up my bid or my sheet on what the grain market's doing, because the grain market trades through the night, so it does. And then it takes a little break. It's 6:30 our time. Takes a break till 7:30ish, and gets going again. It starts back over. So when I get in here, I check and see what it's done through the overnight, and see if I place orders or not and see if any of those have hit or not through the night. And then just kind of get ready, see what the market's doing, and then I kind of get a list of people that I might need to visit with in the morning that have been looking to sell some grain or something, and visit with them and see if that's something that's getting close to what they're thinking, or just to let them know what the market's doing for the day. I have a list of people that I just text every day. You know, they don't really want to get a phone call from me. And it helps me out too, because I can't call all these people, or, you know, there's just not enough time for that. So it's awesome that I can send out a text and text it to 55 different people and go, here's what the market's doing this morning or whatever, in case you haven't noticed, or
Right.
stuff like that. So that's what I do when I first get here. And then I told you I do all the freight for Grainland. So that's my next step, is I usually check and make sure I have all my trucks lined up for the day, coming and going, and the places that they're delivering to. I make sure that, you know, they got the same, like amount of bushels or whatever that I have been sending, so that we're all on the same page. So I check all that and make sure that's good to go, and then after that is just kind of watching the market and, you know, making my phone calls that I need to and stuff. And then if anybody sells anything, then I make up all the contracts I need to do and stuff to get all that taken care of, and so that the ladies can go write checks and get the farmer paid. So. And that pretty much is what I do the whole rest of the day.
Okay.
So it is.
So, and you handle the freight, and someone I was talking to earlier said that you might have information about CDL trainings. If someone works currently for your company, or maybe doesn't work currently for your company, is there a way for them to gain CDL training
Yes.
through CDL?
Yep, so a guy that works for us used to do CDL classes. He was an instructor. So he was. And, you know, so the guys that we have had that we needed them to get a CDL, he's, you know, worked with them and trained them so that when it was time to take that test and stuff, they were good to go.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And
pretty easy.
Does he still help out with that?
Yep.
Okay, because I have a couple kids that are interested in getting a CDL and working for CHS.
Yeah.
Okay, so who would I have them contact you?
Or Matt Meisborn is the
Okay.
guy that was an instructor and stuff for a long time, so.
Okay.
Okay.
So, and he works over in Holyoke, but I can always get you that number or
That
whatever
would
you
be
need, so.
super.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep, but yeah, and he's awesome. I mean, he obviously knows what they're gonna ask you and look for,
Right,
so he
yeah.
can get you trained right up for all that, so.
That's perfect. Okay. Good to know.
But yeah, yep.
All right.
Yeah, and that's a cool thing too, if you work here, is that we're gonna pay for you to do that, and
Yeah.
most guys that start here and get going, you know, if they go and get their CDL to help us out, you know, we usually give them a raise too, so, with having that CDL on their license.
Right.
Right.
Oh, that's awesome.
You know, so, another opportunity to make a little bit more money, so.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Do you have anything else?
Mm-mm.
I think that's all we have.
Okay.